Disneyland Tokyo, Studio Ghibli, The Making of Harry Potter, Team Planet Labs. These are probably all places that are on your radar if you have kids and you're traveling to Tokyo. But today I'm going to share with you 5 kid-friendly destinations plus a couple of extras that won't break the bank and are great for planning alongside an adult-friendly vacation, which I also think is important. I'm not going to claim these are the top 5. In a place like Tokyo, Japan, I don't think you can pick the top 5. There's so much going on, so much to do, but I guarantee these will be ones that you'll have fun at. Hi, I'm Stacy. I'm a world traveler, a tour guide, and a single mom to my daughter, Maddie. We just went to Tokyo recently and I wanted to share with you some of our favorite spots. Now, when I'm traveling, I want Maddie to be happy, right? I want to hit a couple places that are like, woo, she's having a blast. But to be honest, if I was going to spend the whole darn trip doing things like going to arcades and Disney stores, I could have just stayed home and not spent as much money. So when I'm planning a trip overseas, I'm trying to find the things that are like fun and cool, but also exposing her to a new culture and allowing me to see things, you know, like there's a compromise there. So the things that I've picked today are things that I think your kids will really love and let you feel like an adult human traveling overseas, which is a great thing. And I think something we don't do enough of as parents. So let's do it. Thing number 1, train stamps. Oh, love this. So a while ago, Japan introduced train stamps for their domestic travel, okay? It wanted, I think specifically like Japanese high schoolers and college students to travel around to different places during their school breaks. And since then, it's become like a huge thing and is obviously something really fun for international tours to do. So lots of train stations, ones that you'll be visiting anyway because you're probably going to be looking around Tokyo or going around Japan, have stamps. And I have the book here that we got. Every station has a different stamp. Also, some tourist centers, it's seriously a thing to collect the train stamps. So we had an absolute blast doing this. Get a book in advance. If you don't get a book in advance, a lot of train stations also have a piece of paper that you can pop in. This is so much fun for a lot of reasons. 1, it's different every time. 2, traveling is boring sometimes, right? You know what it's like to be on a train or to schlep to a train station and you're kind of at the end of your rope, and having something to do at a train station just like makes it so much better. Also, I talked about this in my previous video. Top tip for traveling with kids is giving them a stake in the vacation, and the train stamps are a fantastic way to do that. So they can look at the map, they can pick which stops, they can pick their book in advance, they can even ask where the train stamps are. Lots of fun to do. I definitely recommend the train stamps. Me and Maddie had different books, so we both were getting the train stamps. Loved it. Can't recommend it enough. And it's something that can keep going for as big or as little as you want it. Some families play games like we're getting every stamp on this line, or oh, we're only going to get the ones that we want to, and you're in charge of that. 2, there's lots of different kinds of cafes in Tokyo. There's lots of animal cafes. This is a thing. We went to a pig cafe. It was fine. We pet a pig. Okay. But the one I'm going to recommend as my number 2 is a robot cafe. And this is specifically because it was really fun and was self-entertaining for my daughter. So the robot cafe we went to was called Pepper Parlor. I'm going to post links to all of these below so you don't have to stress yourself trying to find them. It was in the Tokyo Plaza in Shibuya. These are really cute robots that talk to you. And they also print when you're talking to them their responses like in captions on their chest. They speak Japanese, they speak Korean, and they speak English. And they are like talking to a chat GPT. They're all AI. And so you go to this robot cafe and a robot will come up to your table and they will just talk to you. Now I know this is weird, this is creepy, but let me put in a bit of context. 1, it's something that like you can only kind of do in Tokyo, but 2, I know you've been at this point, if you're anything like me, where you've been traveling and you're just like, I just need a break. I cannot have another conversation about the whatevereth millionth time thing with a small child. I just need a break. And the robot cafe was my savior. We went at like 8 in the evening. The robots do performances every half hour, like, no kidding. They have screens in their chest and they change their little shirts, like to necklaces and shirts and whatever, and they do little like dances on stage. Maddie thought it was a blast, and I was like, okay, this is good enough. And then when one came to our table, she talked to it about Harry Potter for, I kid you not, an hour. So I was able to just like do my decompress. I just read a book and that was it. Like, I could be an adult in my own little space while she was having a blast. And because a lot of kid-friendly places are you and your world revolving around what the kid is doing, and this one I just thought was fantastic because we were all happy and we were all entertained, but selfishly, like, Maddie was more entertained than I was. Yes. And it's not expensive. It's just like a normal cafe in that you buy your drink or you buy your food or whatever, and that's the only price to entry that you're paying. Winning. 3. Okay, this is a souvenir and a place. Okay, whatever. We're gonna do it. A personalized name stamp. This one's good because it's in a fantastic suburb, so roll with me. And there's a history lesson involved. Okay, so traditionally in Japan, the way that you sign a document, like a legal document, like if we in the US, like, or Australia, use a signature, right? And that signature is custom to you, and that's a signature. Great. In Japan, they use a name stamp. So you would go to a place that makes name stamps, and they're usually in red ink, and that's your characters that you stamp on a document. Okay. Background. You used to see these name stamp places all over Japan. They would be like, you know, whatever, like a newsagent or things that you would see very regularly. But as digital documents have come along, they're obviously less important. People don't need them as much anymore. Okay, all that's history. Now, this is a name stamp place that makes really, really cute name stamps, personalized, that also uses Romanji or English characters along with the stamp. So I'm going to show you this one, and then I'm going to talk a bit more about it, why this is such an awesome souvenir. So here's Maddie. You can customize all this. She is so into axolotls. So this is Maddie in Japanese and an axolotl. Okay, where is this amazing place and why is it so amazing? So this is in Yanaka Ginza, which is a suburb I'm going to chat about in a second, and the place is called Shimimono Gurui. I'll link to it. So the reason that this is so excellent is Yanaka Ginza is a suburb I really encourage you to visit. It's just it's part of Tokyo, but it's just a short distance outside of Tokyo. Like proper. It's not to be confused with Ginza, which is the really expensive shopping district. Yanaka Ginza is almost like a more historical Tokyo, and not in a very temple-y kind of way, just like in a little bit back in time way. So you can still get snacks off the street in a roadside sort of way. There are books, there are incense places. It's just like taking a little bit of a step back in time before Tokyo became such a huge, bustling place. There's also a cemetery that is so beautiful and so worth visiting. So here's my plan, and this is actually what I did. We went to Yanaka Ginza. Trust me, axolotl photos on a stamp win the day. We knew we were going to this place. It's on the main drag in town. We got a stamp on the train ride. See, this is all coming together. And we went, and first of all, it's an amazing experience to pick out what you want, right? So it's like, you know, what animal do you want? What font do you want your name in? It's all of these things. How big do you want the stamp? What color ink do you want on your stamp? And then it takes like 30 minutes to an hour for them to actually make the stamp. Ha! Can't go home sooner than that. And so during that time, you, grown up, can just wander up and down the street. The kids just thinking about their stamp, fine. And you can have amazing snacks. Kids can have the amazing snacks too. There's a really great beer house. There's all of these really fantastic gems in this suburb. And the stamp place just makes it all happen. Love it. Can't recommend it enough. I believe the stamp we got is probably comparable to like $25 when we went. Obviously, you can adjust it up and down for size and details and things like that. Cannot recommend it enough. And also a fantastic souvenir, like your name in Japanese. You know, it's not your standard thing. Do that. 4, sushi making class. Who doesn't love sushi? So also the reason I'm recommending this, because gosh, we did a lot of things, but this is in Asakusa. So Asakusa is a suburb or neighborhood that's very historical. It is, as an adult, super easy to get lost in Asakusa doing all kinds of history things, and kids could get bored. Whatever. It's cool, but there's always that danger. So when we visited, we did this sushi making class, which was fantastic. It was so much fun. It was on like the 5th floor of a tower looking down over the river, and the people who gave the class were really animated, and it had lots of different people in it, so it wasn't like a one-on-one class where you'd feel a lot of pressure. And so for that too, it also wasn't terribly expensive. We made different kinds of sushi. Actually, me and Maddie got the class that was just the temari sushi, which are these little balls that came from Kyoto, like little princess balls that were made so that the geisha could eat the sushi without messing up their lipstick. So I actually do recommend that one because it was fun. And you get to eat the food at the end. The teachers were really animated, telling us about the history of sushi. It was just a really great experience. You could be sloppy, it didn't matter. Like, no one was like all over the perfection of the sushi. Great experience, culturally engaging, really fun, and also like a destination to make this suburb that could be a bit dry into a really exciting memory. 5. Okay, this one, okay, this could even be a little predictable, but Tokyo Character Street. So underground at Tokyo Station, where you get another train stamp, just so you know. And also it's the Shinkansen stop. So if you're going to Osaka, you'll be going to Tokyo Station anyway. And they have a shopping like district, like whatever, it's just a street with lots of different stores, but every character you have ever heard of and many that you haven't are there. So Rilakkuma, Gudetama, Hello Kitty, you know, Disney, anything, any character is there with their own store. So even if you don't buy a lot of souvenirs, you're just like in awe because the stores are decorated really cute, and it was just so much fun. It's a great place if your kids get souvenir money to be like, this may be where you want to save up your money to go. I will give a warning. Tokyo in general is crowded. Character Street, oh, it's crowded kind of to the next level. So, I mean, I'm used to crowded, but this was like holy dooly. So if you have small children who are runners, like, keep an extra eye on them. But otherwise, Tokyo is an incredibly safe place. I wouldn't be worried from that perspective, but it's just a lot of bustle in very small stores. And also, like, it's easy to get so excited because you see like, oh my god, there's Rilakkuma over there, and blah. So that's number 5. Okay, now I couldn't stop with 5, but 5 makes a really good wrap-up number, so I'm gonna hit you with one food place that Maddie and I absolutely adored, and I admit it's touristy, which is usually not my thing, but sometimes you have to add in a bit of touristy to round out the vacation. So we went to, so hot pot is just like melting, is just like cooking your food in a pot, okay? You may have been to a hot pot restaurant in your normal life. We went to Kuma-chan Onsen, which means Kuma is a bear, like a cute little, you know, Kuma-chan is a bear, and onsen is a hot bath. So that means just like bear spa. And so all of the broth at this place starts in the shape of a really cute bear. And then it melts, and that becomes your broth. And then you cook your food in this broth in like a normal hot pot way. It's a titchy overpriced, not ridiculous by any standard, but the whole place is completely bear themed. So we had on our bear ears that the restaurant provides for you. We got to pick what color bear we wanted. It was a blast. And like I said, it's one of those things that we both had a lot of fun with. It wasn't completely kid focused, and really just gave Maddie something to so look forward to. Look at the photos of Kuma-chan Onsen. I'll put the links below, and kids will get jazzed. Everyone wants to eat a soup made from a melting bear. Who doesn't? Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 more, and I'm also gonna give you like a didn't work out thing. I could talk about Tokyo forever. So 2 things that are great for anywhere in Japan. 1, gacha capsules. So these are like such a thing in Japan. You've probably already heard of them. They're just like big vending machines, and they're a plastic bowl, and there's a little surprise toy inside. So you would go and be like, oh, this is a capsule machine for whatever, squid or bears or whatever it is, and you would get 1 of 6 variations. They take about, like, let's say $2 each, so you'll need to get some coins, 100 yen coins, and this just can turn any kind of running slow day into an exciting experience. Okay, so set aside like $10 or $20 in gold coins for your kids to go around, and whenever things get a little bit like we're tired, guaranteed you can just be like, oh look, there are the capsules, do you want to see what this one has? And that'll perk everyone up. Total win. The second thing that works anywhere all around the world is geocaching, and also Pokemon Go, but I'm not recommending Pokemon Go here because I'm not like huge on screens, and there's already enough screens in traveling. So geocaching, if you haven't heard of it, it's an app on your phone that has real life locations of things that you need to find. There's tons in Tokyo. It's like a little scavenger hunt. And what I love so much about it is, even though it is on your phone, the thing you're trying to find is in the real world, which is so fun. And that, I recommend you add that to any vacation you have, just to pep things up. Again, we all know what it's like when people are getting a little bit fractious. You just need like a little extra, and it's like, oh look, did you know we are somewhere where there's a geocache down the street? Let's do that. That's what we need. Love that. My one for Tokyo that was just not what I think it lives up to in the rumors, Harajuku. So we were so excited to go to Harajuku. We had outfits, we had gold temporary tattoos, we had hair color, like we had everything. We were ready. And when we went to Harajuku twice, because I'm a kind of person who will dress up for things, and it was just a tourist trap. Like I counted 5 crepe places on the same little part of the street, and the crepe places, like 3 of them were called Santa Monica crepes. Like, okay, fine. Like, total touristy place. It was also just packed of other tourists trying to look at people dressed up, and there was almost no one dressed up. So, I would say that like 15 years ago when I went, that was totally a destination to find cool souvenirs and people dressed up and like get a real cultural experience. Now I'd say not quite so much. So I don't know if you had Harajuku on your list. I'm downgrading it. There's heaps of other stuff to do in Tokyo. I mean, you still might want to go, just say you go. And there's a train stamp. So whatever, it's up to you. Okay, that is my list of 5 plus a bonus, plus some other bonuses, kid-friendly things to do when you're in Tokyo. I absolutely love Japan as a travel destination, especially with kids. It's not expensive right now. Their currency is struggling a bit. It's super safe. It's super easy to get around. So I highly recommend it as a destination, and I'll probably be making a few more Japan videos for you. If you have any questions or if you have any recommendations, please do pop them down in the comments because I want to hear them, and I'm pretty sure that Maddie and I are going to be going back, so I definitely want to know. And also I'm going to be putting all of the links down in the show notes, so that way you can find what I'm talking about. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you!